Ironically, the 75K call, not to pat myself on the back, but at the beginning of the year, I was actually tactically bearish. I posted this thing on Twitter like the first few days of January and caught a lot of crap for it. Because people were like, dude, you're a bear on Sunday. What's going on? I'm like, no. I think like the first couple of weeks of January are going to be a little dicey. I was right about that, but I should have just stayed that way for the rest of the quarter because my target was actually 75K. In early January, we got down to 89K and it immediately got bought. And so I was like, my target was wrong. Direction was correct.
And we're going to dive into more insights from McCann. So stay tuned.
Picture this. 6 months ago, Bitcoin was $50,000. If you'd deposited then, you could have grown your portfolio by thousands. But waiting? It costs you more every day. Drip2 BTC turns missed opportunities into gains. Buy Bitcoin, deposit it, and watch your wealth grow effortlessly. Vacations, new cars, financial freedom, it starts here. Drip2BTC.com.
Hey guys, welcome back. Drip Coach here with Drip and Farm for Poverty, where we don't trust, we verify, and operate with integrity and transparency. Today, we got a clip from Savvy Finance and Joe McCann, who is an investor, entrepreneur based in Cincinnati, founder, CEO of CIO Asymmetric, a contemporary digital asset investment firm. He has invested in various companies, particularly in the Web3 blockchain sector, at the seed and Series A, and about 45 million in estimated net worth. And definitely no stranger to Web3, Bitcoin, crypto. And like I told you guys, it's just good for, in my opinion, to just digest information from different people. And the one thing that I'm trying to find is like contrarian ideas to what I believe. And it's actually hard to get anyone that's completely against Bitcoin at this stage. There are a few, but most of them have no real validity. The only thing I can really find is like what Joe was saying in some other videos that'll probably come up this week about the short-term price action of Bitcoin. So that's really what we're going to be looking at in here. And as he just mentioned, he was saying that 75K could still be on the horizon. It's unknown if it's likely or not. As of today's video, we have not gotten the reciprocal tariff news. This is April 1st and I'm recording this. By the time you watch this video or you're hearing this, we should see what the markets have priced in. So I'm sitting in at a Bitcoin price of 84K, and we could dip lower into this high 70s. But let's listen to some more clips from Joe to find out kind of where his thesis is at and what the real fundamental foundational levers are that you should be evaluating your long-term thesis on.
Play the video.
I mean, just the headlines alone since his inauguration, I don't think we in crypto could have dreamed for better headlines. It's unbelievable. I mean, take the SEC alone. How many cases have they dropped in the past few weeks? Like all of them? I mean, just that alone is enough to be like, oh my God. Then you've got SAB 121 being repealed. You've got, the investigation into Operation Choke Point 2.0. You've got the banks now actually providing custody services in crypto. All of these things are happening in like a very small amount of time, yet the price is straight down. What? Doesn't make any sense, right? You would think probabilistically, like you've got all of this positive momentum, all of these headlines, massive 180 in terms of the regulatory environment in the United States. These should be bullish tailwinds, right? Not bearish tailwinds or bullish headwinds. And the price was straight down. And so you start to look at it and you go, wait a second, this has nothing to do with crypto. I mean, if you look at Michael Saylor, what he did last year, I saw reports saying he was effectively 28% of the buying of all Bitcoin last year, which is just an enormous number. And then if you add on, extrapolate out, well, what's the other 72%? If you assume even half of that is ETFs and you just had a massive set of outflows, well, you're going to need a regrossing, as I was talking about earlier with these hedge funds, of buying these ETFs again. Now, the reason that I don't think we're in, like I say, structurally in a bull market still, if you look at the set of potential outcomes and catalysts later this year, we've already heard about the strategic Bitcoin reserve. We already got SAB 121, et cetera, et cetera. What people always ask me, like, well, Joe, there's no apparent catalyst on the horizon. And I'm like, you're right. That's exactly the catalyst that you should be prepared for, is the one that you don't think is coming. Like, let's be clear, in October of 2023, there was a fake tweet or an incorrect tweet from like one of the, crypto media companies saying the Bitcoin ETF has been approved or whatever it was. And it started the bull market, which is just so crypto to do that. That's a catalyst no one had in their model, no one had in their forecast, that a fake tweet or an improper tweet or an incorrect tweet would actually kick off, basically a gamma squeeze against these dealers. And now all of a sudden people are like, oh, I'm buying, and now it's gone. That's the same sort of thing that I think could potentially happen this year, because if you look at the tailwinds, again, policy, regulation, you have Ubada, which is the second largest sovereign wealth fund in the UAE, bought $500 million worth of IBIT last quarter. I mean, it's the seventh largest holder of IBIT in one quarter. Like, these aren't day traders. These are people accumulating. And I think that race has started with a lot of the other sovereigns. So in my opinion, there's enough potential tailwinds. I mean, even Michael Saylor with what is he raising, like $42 billion or $21 billion or something? I mean, there's just an enormous amount of money to raise through 2027 to continue to buy Bitcoin. And if he's the only buyer, yeah, that's a problem, to be totally frank. But like, if I zoom out of it and go, has something structurally changed macroeconomically or structurally changed with, Bitcoin in general?
And that's where I want to cap it, because that's my thesis. That's what I keep looking at, and that's what I keep coming back to. Has anything fundamentally or structurally changed with Bitcoin in a bearish framework? Yes, there's volatility and uncertainty and stuff happening with the macroeconomics, with tariffs, new regime changes, all this stuff, potential wars, that you can't really factor in. But Bitcoin was created to kind of hedge your bet against all of that. Like, that is par for the course and written in our history books, and it's always going to be there. Something is always inevitably going to impact macroeconomics, both to the upside and the downside. But fundamentally, has Bitcoin been hacked? No. Has it become more secure? Yes. Has it become more decentralized? Yes. Has it gotten more regulated and more adoption? Yes. So if all of that is true and it's still a fixed supply asset, then it has to at some stage rebound and start to move back upward. And historically, the realized price is typically about 2x more, 2x less than the actual price. And we're sitting right at that amount right now. The realized price represents the last time the Bitcoin moved at a price on the chart. So it just gives you what kind of the underlying value is that people are looking at in the asset. Now, the mining difficulty and the price that miners are paying is more than that, but this is what people are valuing it at, meaning someone could still sell and be at a profit, typically in these price ranges. But this continues to tick upward, especially as the halving and things like that come into play. And what you also find with the realized price is as it breaks away from 2 to 3 to multiple more X's, that is usually a typical sign where people will sell and take profits as well. So everything is in line, like Joe was stating, in that nothing has fundamentally changed. So I still believe there will be that shakeout back to the low 70s, mid 70s, and that's why I still have buy orders in. So that's the main TLDR from this, is that you don't know what's going to happen, but you can hedge your bets and know that inevitably over a long enough timeline, Bitcoin does go up and to the right, but there will be buying opportunities. So therefore, you should have some dry powder on the side to catch those dips. And that's the only way to hedge your bets and make sure you don't get overextended, over leverage, things of that nature. And the new exploratory phase I'm taking is looking at, leveraging Bitcoin in regards to loans. And that's why I made that Bitcoin app. I'll be showing that again later. This, I got to rerun the script. But this simulator that I made using historic price values and future price projections and things of that nature to see, like, can I actually live off of Bitcoin, and will the typical price appreciation of the asset allow me to essentially never have to repay the loan? That's the goal, and continue to grow my Bitcoin holdings. And from what I can tell so far, especially as this asset class matures and you get more and more value into it, it will become less and less volatile. So that's why I continue to do this kind of research, bring these other people on to share these insights with people that are not just bullish, we're going to the moon, but telling you, like, hey, it is volatile, especially right now during this time frame. You could see some downside. And I've been saying this because, again, the people I've been listening to for the last year and a half or so, and definitely within the last 3 to 4 months, is that gap fill, CME gap on the markets charts is in that 70 price range. I don't know if we can break lower than that, but even again, looking at this, that's possible. But miners typically will not be selling at that. They would be underwater at that stage. And we have a lot of support at the 70s. So to break below that just seems unlikely. And historically, Bitcoin typically stays above the previous cycle high. That becomes the low for the next cycle. So it would seem unlikely to see anything below, like, say, 67. So that high 60s category, low 70s. It's a range, remember, so you got to give or take, you know, a couple K, but that's where I'm hedging my bets at. All right, let me know what you guys think about that. Drop some info in the comments, smash that HBO special, help a brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? Spritz Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.